Hello everyone! Before starting this new chapter of Hunter x Hunter, you have a video that you must watch. It's a theory of Boris. He is a One Piece theory, but he made a theory about the fight between Chrollo and Hisoka. When he mentioned and has some base to show the facts that instead of being a 1v1 fight, it was a 1v4 fight. And because of this, Hisoka was overwhelmed. And this explains the revenge that Hisoka seeks. So check this video, because he will do later an analysis on the fight. And it will be very interesting. I love this video. For me it was a mind-blowing. Now let's check the chapter 358, Eve. Not the Pokemon. Let's go see. Ladies and gentlemen, at long last the day has finally arrived, and humanity prepares to expand its horizon even further, and it embarks anew. Whoa! They're going to the Dark Continent! Oh, I didn't expect to be this soon. On its journey to the new continent, let's let the Eve Festivus commence. This is the boat. What? It's so huge, so huge. I'm honored to be the presence of living witness to a great chapter in history. From here on out, every single thing you experience will be history. That's right, you yourselves will be a part of history. Well then, without further ado, let me introduce the great giant who realized this modern day arc. Our very own king, Nasubi Huigoro. I've only got one thing I wanna say. I am the great king of Kakin. And together we will claim the new continent. King. On the second stage we have our second in command, Master Beyond, and the princesses related to the great king by blood. They all await the very first step on the historic voyage. Oh, all the princes there. Interesting. Really interesting. So everyone's participating in the Eve's festival festivities. I wonder how many will be left by tomorrow's ceremony. Whatever the one who wins in the end will be me. All you ignorant sects, look well upon me. It is I who will be the next king. It just might be. That's interesting. This competition will be very cool. And now at least the airship that the king is aboard is heading for the Black Whale, where it goes. With his very own life on the line, our king is going to lead the way for these people to untrodden lands. Has anyone like this ever existed before? No, never. Everyone's so excited to go. Our great king is now heading onto the fittingly great ship, right? This very great moment. What a great arrival, so full of greatness. Oh, it's a great, ladies and gentlemen. And now the airship containing the princes and the Vips are heading there, one after the other. Also, the general passengers have now begun heading to the Black Whale by ferry. What do you think of this word? This is great news for such a great occasion. We too must enjoy ourselves. Let's celebrate. Oh yes, it's cool. Really cool. It's hard to see if we can see some face that we know. But first of all, it's focus on the princess. Whoa! The Black Whale has 5 decks. The first deck houses the royal family and V5's political VIPs. The second deck has various celebrities and prominent figures, as well as the wealthy and upper class. The third deck below is for the general public and regular passengers. The connection pathway to each of the decks is being guarded by the royal troops and is being treated as under martial law. Wow! Whoa! Furthermore, the second and the third deck are completely cut off from each other by massive thick walls. During emergencies, they can be opened and shut only from the second deck. Wow! Therefore, the hunting grounds are restricted to the first and second deck. Hunting grounds. Ah, okay, for the competition. Within the ship, maintain calm and composure. The real party begins in 2 months after the landfall ceremony is completed. Till then, we are not soldiers but guards. Constantly being on the edge of our seats, ready at a moment's notice and waiting for the first Prince Benjamin's orders to act on our assault plan is going to be strenuous. Each of the prince's residential quarters is very strictly sectioned off in order for them to handle everything that has to do with their daily life. Contact with their guards is to be kept to a minimum. All the princes have planned to meet together every Sunday along with their guests for a dinner banquet. The times that each prince will enter and exit has also been decided so that no 2 princes will cross each other's paths in transit. That's interesting. Which means that we will have no chance whatsoever here. In fact, we may be spending the entire time pent up like this. Being a higher ranking bodyguard will be convenient. Let's use that chance to search for a way to skip the succession war. Yes. It is possible to contact the other queens and princes using the phones within the ship. The lower wives cannot call the wives above them. On top of that, the phone should be guarded by troops. The royal troops that are watching over the succession war from a neutral standpoint are monitoring all the passenger ways. In other words, they will be going to be aware of all our movements. It would seem assassination has been made completely impossible. I don't really understand exactly what the king's motive is here. Of course, even within these circumstances there are plenty of ways around and out. But once you take the existence of non-users into account, the possibility becomes endless. Yes. First of all, I need to get a read on the enemy's battle strength so I can gauge the balance of power and where we stand. Presently, I don't know anything apart from how much security personnel each of the princes has. Even excluding the possibility of non-user existing in the mix, our battle strength is scarce. Even the hunters in charge of security outside the residential quarters may not be our allies, which makes them threats. At the time of the test, we didn't learn on any ulterior motives or plan from the Kakin examinees, and most of the Kakin bodyguards have been slipped past my chin test. Limited hunter qualifications were given out for the period of this voyage to the Dark Continent in order to have more friendly bodyguards on board. But it seems the Dark Continent Committee making the examinations lax may have backfired on us. Yes. Which means outside of the King's residential quarters on the first deck, there are around 150 temporary hunters concealing some kind of ulterior missing prowling around. It's a lot. A 42nd hunter by law escaped the recent reformation. 42nd hunter by law escaped the recent reformation of the hunter bylaws. It was reformed to allow for temporary members compared to the temporary members. Compared to the risk of strictly selecting people based on certain criteria, it's kind of wishy-washy amendment that allows uncertain factors to enter the mix greatly increase the possibility of events transpiring that are beyond expectations. On top of that, when I was in contact with Tseringnich, I sensed feelings of a blood-drenched royal succession war. Was that just me being nervous, or was it something else entirely? Kurapika, is that you, Mizai? What's wrong? I'm devoting my attention to deck 3 and 4. The crime rate down here has picked up and gotten out on hand faster than I'd ever anticipated. Wow, really? From forged tickets, theft and robbery, fighting and arguments, drunken brawls, all the way to identify fraud, larceny, assault, and all kinds of things. On top of having to investigate tons of false reports and Twitter calls. It appears a rumors that some criminal ring is causing people's tickets to be rendered invalid due to the person supposedly already being on board was the original of all this mess. His Sokka has the kind of power to alterate paper, right? So if there is a slight chance that he's behind this, right? Yes, there is. Then the rumors even made it to people accusing other people of having the tickets in question. Kakin troops aren't even dealing with this with any consistency. If this goes on, things will erupt into a total riot. But Tubai and I aided the troops and provided security in taking control of the situation. That's why I won't be able to attend the Zodiac's meeting prior to departure. I seriously underestimated just how careless and sloppy Kakin could be. Their whole plan and protocol was completely meaningless, and the ones that are the worst off are the medical teams. There are 3 treatment facility rooms on the 3rd deck, while 4th and 5th decks only have 2 rooms, and the 5th deck doesn't even have any resident doctors. There are only 1/5 part of the medical facility that they had planned, and 1/15th part of the doctors available. What? And what really has me disgusted is that I heard the upper floors have 1 doctor for every 20 people. It can be helped, Shadow. It can be helped. Shadow was right in the middle of doing everything possible to refuel and recruit staff. With the way things are going, the meeting is likely to be called off, perhaps. So, this will probably be my last communication with you before we depart. Stay on your toes and keep your eyes open. Yes. I might be able to make use of the timing of all the cows down below. Queen Noito. In the case the worst should happen, I've prepared some escape routes we can use in case of an emergency. Allow me to share my findings with you. Emergency? Are you saying that things are going to get even worse than they are now? Well, for example, if there's a crash or riot or a fire breaks out, it's impossible to open the gate connecting the 2nd and 3rd decks. If everything goes well, we might be able to slip away from the eyes of the troops and the princess and blend in with the regular passengers. Can we really do something like that? I don't know what might happen, so I'm just preparing. So please do your best to memorize where the airship's life raft and flotations device are deployed from and learn how to use them. Knowledge increases your probability of survival by a substantial amount. When it comes down to life or death compared to not knowing what to do, knowing but being unsure if you can or not will have a striking effect on your assessment of a situation. Oh, she starts shaking. Your Highness, are you okay? I had prepared myself. I had prepared for us to die on this boat. I thought that was what I wanted, but suddenly, perhaps you should rest for a while. While you do, I will gather the necessary data and materials. Oh yes, thank you. Please take the Queen and the Prince to their sleeping chambers. Connect me to the system control room. What's wrong? And it's set in motion. Nothing. Ooh, that guardian thing. I think it's the guardian thing that starts to arise in the baby. And if I'm not wrong, the king said that this guardian will show for the right prince. Only the prince that deserves it will have it. That's starting to get really, really interesting. I want to know where Jin is, where Hisoka is. Hisoka, he is there, but where? And I want to know where Chrollo is. If they entered like fake, with fake tickets, being bodyguard of a prince. I don't know, probably they go as a bodyguard of some prince. It's a good chapter. It has a lot of information. I was talking like crazy here. You must, if you're still there, thank you so much. But here's a lot of information about the ship and the crimes that are happening, the riots, and how it will be proceeded with the security and everything. We're going to know more Nen persons with Nen abilities. I hope that some really cool Nen abilities appears. And the Zodiacs 12 are there, but they have some, probably they have hunters with them to help on security. I would like to know if the hunters that were in the Chimera arc are there. It's an interesting thing to know. And what you think about this chapter? I really like it. Togashi is amazing. If you see the video of bodies, you love Togashi. Really. Togashi is one of the best now. If you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Plus Ultra!